Today, we're rejourneying to Japan to uncover the explosive story behind one of the world's most iconic landmarks, the majestic Mount Fuji. More than just a beautiful mountain, Fuji is a geological marvel with a dramatic and fiery past, built layer by layer over hundreds of thousands of years. So, grab your virtual hiking boots and let's start our climb through time. The story of Mount Fuji isn't about one single volcano, but a succession of them, each built upon the ruins of its predecessor. It's like a set of geological Russian dolls. The tale begins around 700,000 years ago, deep beneath what we now know as the Izu Peninsula. Tectonic forces were at play, with the Philippine Sea Plate sliding beneath the Eurasian Plate. This subduction zone created immense heat and pressure, melting rock into magma. This magma began to rise, eventually erupting onto the surface and forming the very first volcano in this location. Today, you can actually find the remnants of Kamatik's peak on the northern slope of the current Mount Fuji. For thousands of years, Kamatik was the dominant feature, an active volcano shaping the ancient landscape. But its reign was destined to end. After a long period of activity, Kamatik fell silent. But the geological story was far from over. A new phase of volcanic activity began, creating what geologists call Ko Fuji, or Old Fuji. Starting around 100,000 years ago, powerful eruptions began to bury Kamatik. These weren't gentle lava flows. Old Fuji was known for its explosive eruptions, spewing massive amounts of volcanic ash, pumice, and pyroclastic flows across the land. This period was incredibly violent. The sheer volume of material ejected by Old Fuji was staggering, forming a large symmetrical cone that reached an impressive height of about 3,000 meters. For tens of thousands of years, Old Fuji dominated the skyline, its explosive nature defining the region's geology. You can still see the layers from these ancient eruptions in the soil around the mountain today, a testament to its powerful past. Then, around 11,000 years ago, the volcanic activity shifted once again. The era of Old Fuji came to a close, and a new chapter began. This is the birth of the mountain we recognize today, Shin Fuji, or New Fuji. This new phase of eruptions started from the same central vent, but the style of eruption changed. Instead of just explosive bursts, New Fuji's activity was characterized by a mix of lava flows, ash clouds, and pyroclastic events. These new eruptions began to cover the slopes of Old Fuji, adding layer upon layer to the existing structure. It's this process that gave Mount Fuji its remarkably smooth, conical shape. The lava flows from this period were particularly significant. Imagine rivers of molten rock pouring down the mountainside, hardening into solid basalt. These flows extended for miles, reshaping valleys and even blocking rivers, which led to the formation of the famous Fuji 5 lakes at the mountain's northern base. For the next several thousand years, New Fuji remained highly active. Eruptions weren't just coming from the main summit crater. Vents and fissures opened up all along its flanks, creating smaller parasitic cones and craters. In fact, there are over 100 of these secondary vents scattered around the mountain, each one representing a past eruption. This constant activity built the mountain higher and wider, sculpting it into the colossal 3,776-meter peak we see today. One of the most well-documented eruptions in Fuji's recent history is the Jogan eruption of 864 AD. This was a massive event. A huge fissure opened on the northwest flank, spewing out enormous quantities of lava. These lava flows were so extensive that they divided a large ancient lake, Lake Tsunami, into the two lakes we know today, Lake Sheiji and Lake Sai. The Aokigahara forest, also known as the Sea of Trees, grew on top of this very lava flow, a young forest thriving on ancient volcanic rock. This eruption highlights how dramatically Mount Fuji could alter the landscape in a very short amount of time. It wasn't just a distant, beautiful peak. It was an active and powerful force of nature that directly impacted the lives of people living nearby. Historical records from that time describe skies darkened by ash and a land reshaped by fire. After the Jogan eruption, Fuji entered a period of relative quiet, but it wasn't asleep for long. The most recent major eruption occurred in 1707, known as the High Eruption. What's interesting about this one is that it didn't produce any lava flow. Instead, it was an incredibly explosive event that blew a new crater, the High Crater, on the southeastern flank of the mountain. The eruption lasted for about 2 weeks, ejecting a colossal amount of volcanic ash and pumice. It was so powerful that ash fell on the city of Edo, modern-day Tokyo, over 100 kilometers away. The ash blanketed farmland, dammed rivers, and caused widespread disruption. The High Crater is still a very prominent feature on Fuji's side, a stark and visible reminder of the volcano's immense power. Since 1707, Mount Fuji has been silent. For over 300 years, there have been no eruptions. This is the longest period of dormancy in its recent recorded history. But does this mean it's no longer a threat? Not at all. Geologists classify Mount Fuji as an active stratovolcano with a low risk of eruption. They constantly monitor it for any signs of unrest, like seismic activity, ground deformation, or changes in gas emissions. The magma chamber deep beneath the mountain is still there. The same tectonic forces that built Komitake, Old Fuji, and New Fuji are still at work. While it peacefully watches over Japan today, it's a sleeping giant, not an extinct one. Its beautifully symmetrical slopes are a product of thousands of years of violent creation, a delicate balance of construction and destruction. So, when you look at a picture of Mount Fuji, or if you're lucky enough to see it in person, remember the incredible story beneath its serene surface. It's a story of multiple volcanoes, one built upon the other. A tale of explosive eruptions and vast lava flows that shaped the very land around it. From the ancient beginnings of Komitake to the fiery outbursts of Old Fuji, and finally to the modern cone of New Fuji with its historic high scar. This mountain is a living history book of geology. It's a powerful reminder of how dynamic our planet is, constantly changing and evolving. The beauty of Mount Fuji is not just in its appearance, but in its incredible multi-layered history. Thank you so much for joining me on this geological journey today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more adventures into the stories behind our world's greatest wonders. See you next time.